Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 4GQ TV. Today we have a very special guest, Post Up, who I used to podcast with on Tick. But I'm going to let PK X Live do the intros because he's the most electrifying man in all YouTube land.
Oh, dear God.
PK, take it away.
Please. Yeah. You say it again, Paul. Thank you for screwing up my daggone intro for the 99,000th time.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of...
Anyways, welcome to the most electrifying channel in all entertainment. It's your boy PK. And listen, we do got special guests. Post Up, man. Yo, I podcast with this guy a few times on the Dragon's Den. Carlo and him go way back. And what can I say? It feels like home. Feels like home.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
this man is around the block, all over the corners. And all I'm saying is, check it out. Thank you for coming through, brother. This is a special day. This is right before the Halloween holiday, right? So we do got some things that we gonna go off and talk about things spooky. But I just want to thank our special guest here for coming through, hanging out with us, chopping it up. He feels like he just belongs, just like everybody, everywhere he goes. You just feel like he belongs.
Sir, man. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, man.
For sure.
Let's go. Let's get it, man.
Yo, next to me, the return of my one and only Cozy Beluga. You know, guys, I only have one of those, and I'm glad she has returned.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
And her bird.
Yep.
And her bird. With that being said, I'll keep it moving to our celebrity in chief. I gotta pay respects to our elderly over here.
Hey.
I didn't even say your name yet. I was talking about clowns. See, you got in your feelings real quick.
Well, you said celebrity and elderly, and you weren't talking about clowns. I know you weren't talking about.
It's okay, because you already know you're a celebrity in chief. This man's been on Xbox commercials. He is the chief executive officer of anything accessibility.
Yeah,
and
right.
he was here before Moses even had the 10 commandments. Listen, this is my favorite pineapple power bomb pineapple pause. Sorry, almost messed that up.
That's right. Yeah. I had to spell check on those tablets, which was a bitch, because man, if you messed that up, you had to start all over again,
Yo. Now, of course, my co-host, my brother, who always messes up every single podcast we do, Mr. Italian Clowns, aka Mr. Opposite Man. Here we go. What's up?
Not much from the most electrifying man in all YouTube land sitting right here.
Oh, no, stop it. Don't do that.
It makes my ears burn every time he do it.
Yes, I love doing that. Sorry, PK. I love doing that. No, it's always fun to get together on Thursday nights and talk about all the treats Xbox has for us. I hear the competition may be a little bit scared.
Oh, this man's trying to get messy already. I tell you what. Let's just get this elephant stuff out the room because I want it to be chill, and I want to after we get it to be chill. I want it to be chill later on. So let's just get the messiness out the way. So let's start with celebrating and giving a round of applause for the promotion that was given to one of the most powerful black women in all entertainment right now. Let's give it to Sarah Bond for being appointed the new Xbox president.
Yes. Incredible.
Everybody should be standing up for that. That is a well-deserved, a well-deserved promotion. While Sony is getting, letting people go, we're over here at Xbox. I say we, but they're over here at Xbox, giving people extra zeros on their paycheck. That's what I like to hear.
And let me just say that I will give Sarah all the props, but I'm not going to stand up. It's not going to happen. I'm just throwing that out there.
So we're just gonna trade Paul in since he doesn't want to stand up. He think he's too good to stand up for some reason. I don't know where that's coming from. But yes, for sure. we want to say round of applause. I don't know how everybody feel about that, so let's just get a take from everybody. Let's start with Post Up, man. I know you was on social media about this going heavy, so let's hear your side on this right quick.
Oh, Sarah?
Yeah.
Look, I'm excited, man. I was a bit off base with it. I thought, given the issues that Activision was having prior to the acquisition, in terms of what was going on there, that she would have been a perfect person in that role to oversee that. But I'm just as happy with her being in such a powerful position at Microsoft and at Xbox now. It seems like she's pretty much going to handle all the day-to-day operations. Looking at what Phil wrote in the memo, I think Matt Booty is going to be she's going to be less worried about the content. I think given Matt Booty's new position, he's going to be more focused on the content, and then she could just run the day-to-day business. So we're going to see how it all play out, but I'm very excited for her. And given that the last couple of shows that they had, she's been front center. I'm pretty sure she's going to be the new face of Xbox. And since Phil sits on the board, he's going to take a step back and be less in the limelight when it comes to Xbox. So we're going to see how this all plays out.
That's what's up, man. Um, and like you said, man, she has been putting in work over the years. I mean, to be honest, she mended fences.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got to give it to her, man, because Japan wouldn't happen if it wasn't for her. Let's be real.
Yeah.
What about Cozy? Cozy, how you feel about this? What are your thoughts on her getting this upgrade?
Sense. She's been, it's not like she's like just like, who is Sarah Bond? She's been, around. She's been doing the work alongside Phil Spencer, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it seems out of the blue. This seemed like the expected thing to happen. Congrats to her.
Facts. Do you think with her being in this position that the future of Xbox actually has a bright, roadmap?
Yeah, I think the only thing I do say is that when people talk about the future of Xbox, looking at the future of Xbox as like just console gaming, is not necessarily something that they might want to. People still looking for Xbox's great comeback might want to temper their expectations a lot.
Okay, I got you. So with that being said, I think that we also got to remember that she was also a part of endorsing and getting the connections made for the independent studios and ID at Xbox. She definitely was endorsing a lot of those deals and relationships, right? She was all over the place. So you just get it. Game Pass, you know it, etc. Paul.
Yo.
You said you weren't gonna stand for her.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do to show
No.
that you would support?
I think it's a great thing. I do want to point out that I believe I read that Booty is actually taking over at Bethesda's ZeniMax directly. He's stepping into that role, so he's going to oversee that studio, or that set of studios, that brand, which is great for him. I'm sure that's a little bit of pressure off of him because he's been overlooking 26 studios for the last couple of years. And I think she's set for this. And as far as ABK goes, I think, wasn't there somebody who used to work for Xbox who's over there in an executive position who could take the reins over there? I can't remember his name, but there's somebody already over there.
Don't no, I don't think Mikey Barr, if that's where you're going.
You don't think they're gonna put Mikey Barr in that role? Because they gotta put somebody up there.
That might look
you talking about overseeing ABK?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they haven't made that call yet, but they need to put somebody over there.
Yeah. It's possible because I think they're gonna break ABK up, and Activision, Blizzard, and King. They all gonna be separate subsidiaries under Microsoft instead of Activision Blizzard King. So you might see where you might see where they have to find somebody to run Activision, somebody to run Blizzard,
Right.
and then some
And then somebody
to
run
run
King, which is their
Yeah.
mobile wing, which is that that's the moneymaker right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but no, I think this is a good step for her, and I'm excited to see what she's going to do. How they're going to set this up. And I said before the show, they've been actually doing a lot of internal shuffling, from what I can tell, to get people in their positions where they can oversee all these studios and do a good job.
Mhm.
Even Phil is pointing out they've learned a lot over the last couple of years of trying to keep an eye on all this stuff. And some things have slipped through, and some things didn't have the focus they should have had. And they're trying to get a handle on all of this. And so it's growing pains, and now they have to bring in ABK as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about what we're going to see over the next couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up. Everybody seems excited. I don't know about opposite man. Let's hear how excited he is.
Well, I'm extremely excited. No, I think Sarah is a good person for the role. I think there's a lot of great qualities to Sarah. One of the facts is that she's great with consumers, like the gamers. She relates to gamers, and when you see her at FanFest, the energy is there. You see her up on stage. She talks about her history in gaming. She talked about how her father got her into games, and she's really excited to be there. And I think that's the important thing, right? Because I'm not trying to compare the other side here, but Jim Ryan never really seemed excited about video games. Sarah is super excited about video games
because he's not a gamer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, that's what I mean, right? That's the relation I'm making here, is that Sarah's a gamer and she relates to this industry. So I think that she's somebody.
I don't think PlayStation even had a president that was a gamer.
Sean Layden,
No,
wasn't he?
No,
No,
Um,
no, he wasn't.
they've always been business side. They've always been more business side than
Well-
gamer side.
Well, also, the other thing too, I think it's Post Up that posted this clip, and where she says Xbox exclusive, and I think with Sarah,
No, I think that was J Rock. I think that
was it J Rock? Okay,
I think that was J Rock.
all right.
Hey,
Maybe,
you don't know what's real because this dude, he be making stuff. He
I know
be
what
like,
clip he.
I'm gonna believe this.
I seen the same clip. I seen the same clip.
This is real right here. J Rock, man, he can't. You need to mute that man because he is definitely messing up.
no,
He messing up your algorithm right there, bro.
she really did say Xbox exclusive, right? And I think she's the type of person that will get more exclusives for the platform, and she's a loyal gamer. She loves the brand that she works for, and she sees the energy and the hype. And I think Sarah and Lulu are almost on the same page as far as their love of what they do, and they're not afraid to speak their mind. I do think that Sarah's a little bit more aggressive than Phil has been when it comes.
I heard that.
When it comes to acquisitions and stuff. I just think the energy's there. Phil led the ship in the right direction, and he was there to keep Xbox afloat. He did a great job. Brought it to where it is today. Created all these services that we see, and I think Xbox is in great hands. And, I'm not saying that. I don't think Phil's going to retire anytime soon or anything, but I think, if that day comes, he set up a great team to lead the platform going forward. So I think we all need to applaud this decision here because I think it benefits gamers everywhere.
If I remember correctly, Phil and her have been together pretty much, and they both came in about the same time.
They did?
No, I don't think so.
I thought they did. Did.
Because Phil was a developer, man. He was
Yeah.
Right.
Phil go way back to you. Probably talking about the 80s.
Yeah, he goes back to
Yeah.
the 80s.
The olden days.
Yeah.
I typically don't challenge Paul's plethora of history, but
Sarah's been there a long time
sometimes
too. Sarah's been there a long time too, in one form or another.
I thought she
Paul was
entered-
there when it was written.
Were you, Paul? Were you there when the Xbox Creed was written?
That's right. I'd be living rich if I was. So yeah.
you should have put your name on it. The Xbox could have been called Powerbomb Pineapple Paul, and then
Yep,
been
that's
different.
It, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just looking out for you, man. All right. So with that being said, listen, I'm excited too. I think this is a great thing, but there is a reason. Think about I always look for patterns.
Yeah.
Phil was put in place. He was a gamer. He was a developer. He understood gaming. Now he's in a different place. Sarah, same thing. I think keeping people that understand or, you know, so to speak, keep their finger on the pulse is a good thing because it keeps them um, grounded and humble, right? I think. Is that clear? Is that right to say? Or is that, or am I
Yeah.
wrong on it? So also I want to point out that uh, Satya, the chairman, said we're about to double down on gaming. Double down? You don't think 70 billion is now already doubling down?
It's
What
not
does that
enough.
even mean? So
It's
what?
not enough.
So if that's doubling, if doubling down is more than that, yo, is Sega next?
I think
Ooh.
so. You seen
Ooh.
him?
Ooh.
No.
You seen the picture?
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I know
Post
you
up,
seen
post
the
up.
picture.
What you got to say on this? What you got to say on this?
Look, let me say, I know y'all seen the pictures. Don't act like y'all ain't seen those pictures.
I don't know. I don't think I did, brother. But
Sarah got
some,
some pictures with Sega in when she was, I think she was leaving Japan. She had took a picture and Sega building was right in the
yo,
rear. Let me and I think when
yo,
they went out there for the Tokyo Game Show, they was at Sega booth. They took pictures with the president of Sega. You got to remember, the president of Sega said they have out of every company in the industry, they have the best relationship with Microsoft, and what the core of Sega aligns with what Microsoft want to do across console, their history in developing for PC, and then they have a strong mobile sectors that's generating a lot of money. It's perfect. It's
does
perfect.
does that mean that the right person is in the right place to close that kind of a deal?
Yep. Yep. And I think it's gonna happen. It might not happen. It's not gonna happen this year. I think they're gonna take a little time to get ABK situated. But
Facts.
I do think they go after Sega. I do, because it even strengthened in terms of their push and integration into mobile. That's the focus right now. You got Call of Duty Warfare for mobile that's already at 45 million pre-registration, and the game ain't even dropped yet. It drops in the spring of next year. You got one of the biggest mobile games in Candy Crush that just hit 20 billion in revenue, that pretty much cleans up and mop up a quarter by itself. So in order for you to keep pushing that integration into mobile, Sega has already got everything aligned for you. Go buy them. They just brought Angry Birds. They own 3 more other mobile studios. You better go get them. At least before Sony do.
They ain't about to do that. Okay. Sony ain't got cash on hand to buy freaking Bungie correctly. All right. So let's stop. Stop with that.
They got too much market share in Japan too.
They can't.
I
They
don't think
can't
that's
even
gonna
buy
happen.
Bungie correctly, and they said okay. Like the
Oh
hell.
yeah, I heard they paying every quarter for Bungie.
Hey,
They did
listen.
that on
They
credit,
did
didn't they?
trades. Yeah, they did on credit, and they might not get to keep it. They still
Wow,
in debt.
that's crazy. I didn't even know that. I
Yo,
thought they did the cash option that
nah,
Microsoft
they
did.
they did trade in shares because they didn't have the cash,
Wow.
and that can be rejected, my guy. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So, Paul, I heard you say no.
Well, okay,
I
let me clarify that. No
oh,
to an acquisition, yes to deals. Okay, let me just
okay, okay. Go ahead and clear that up then.
yeah, I just think I don't like you said, if there is an acquisition, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. They can that I mean, the FTC would be all up in their butt at this point if they try, Um
I don't think the FTC can be up nobody's butt right now.
well, but you know what I mean. I think I could see some deals coming. We could see some
How
more.
can the FTC care about the Japanese company?
Trust me, they would. Given the way she's been acting, she'll stick her nose in it because
I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
Sega's big enough for it to be a good argument. Even
But
though,
well, on top of everything else that just happened, though, is what they'll probably do. So
eh,
yeah.
you might be right, but
But I still think that
what
it
kind
could
of
happen in
deals
the
you talking about
future.
then?
But like maybe some exclusivity deals, some making some games that we haven't seen on Xbox in a while or ever coming to Xbox. Because like we were saying, they're gonna go where the money's at, and if the money's at Xbox, and it appears to be going that way at this point, then that's where they're gonna bring their player base. So I could see some of that going on more before I could see a full blown acquisition. You know.
No, man. I think you just not a non-believer in your speech.
No, I just think I'm trying to look at the whole bigger picture, not just go, oh yeah, because that's what everybody's been doing all the time. They gotta go get this company out. They gotta go get this.
I think the writing's
Slow
on the
your roll, slow
wall
your
when
roll,
it comes to
baby. Yeah.
Sega. I think the writing's
Yeah.
on the wall there. I think they've been flirting with this relationship for years.
Well,
I
but
think it was gonna happen before.
it could be a relationship for deals and stuff, not necessarily for hey, buy our company.
I mean,
Eh,
it came out in court though, Paul, that they was trying to buy even Nintendo at one point.
Well, yeah,
a buck.
but and like I said back then, and I'll say it again, all the companies have looked into that kind of stuff. They all do it. Sony's looked into it. Microsoft has looked into it. I'm sure
Sony ain't even thinking about it because they ain't got the cash. They is not buying.
No. Maybe doesn't mean they didn't talk about it. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I got you.
At some point, they probably talked about trying to buy Xbox. You know.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, based on the court documents, I think Phil got the SA approval from Amy and Nadalia to purchase Sega. I think Sega was gonna get purchased before the Activision thing came available, and when that hit the table, they told Sega, you just got to hold on for a minute. We got a bigger.
Well, yeah. Well, and remember too, Japanese companies even bought by American companies is hard to do. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
However, I will say that Sega split themselves up to prep themselves to be bought.
Yeah.
Like they're no longer just Sega Sammy. They're different divisions. So the gaming division is now split from the pachinko side, which is what Sega Sammy controls.
Can you imagine if Microsoft bought the pachinko side? I mean, serious. I would own
I'm just saying,
a Microsoft pachinko machine in a heartbeat. But
they already restructured themselves to prep themselves to be bought.
Yeah, to have to be separated in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just all looking at where the chips fall. Cozy.
Yes.
Would you like to see Sonic on Xbox?
I see a strategic partnership, but I don't necessarily see them buying them.
Okay. I think everyone would be happy to see the Blue Hedgehog get a home again.
He will be ecstatic.
I also think it wouldn't make sense since specifically Sonic's sells insanely well on Nintendo platforms.
That doesn't mean that they won't still do that. Xbox will keep it multi-platform if it makes sense. Hell, they already said they put Call of Duty on whatever the Switch console is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Call of Duty makes sense because Call of Duty specifically prints
but
money.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right about that, but I mean, it could go for other games too, right? I think. If it sells better on Nintendo Switch, then put it on Nintendo Switch. I don't know. But strategic deals like what Paul was talking about, is that what you mean?
Yes. I agree with Paul. Like strategic deals.
That's
I just think a lot of that's not a first.
I agree with Paul. Most of you never hear that come.
Yeah, nobody agrees with me. Everybody thinks I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
If you look at like a lot of what you call it, I know everyone's like this big talk about like, oh, bringing this to the Xbox platform, but honestly, a lot of what Sega's like studios creates isn't stuff that's ever going to be like big Xbox things. So for it's like, oh, I know you get like the loud vocal handful of people who are like, we really want those Japanese games, but most people aren't. We see those sales.
Okay, well, I'm always down for it because I've been wanting it forever. So I'm about that life. Clowns,
Um,
opposite man.
I've been saying since like 2014 that Xbox should buy Sega. And the reason for that is not just because of Sonic, right? I mean, Sonic is a great platform. He's a great character. He's very popular. Don't get me wrong. But Atlas, man. Atlas is the golden ticket here. And I say that because Atlas is very popular in the Asian markets. And that is a big in for Xbox because that did well for PlayStation. Atlas did very well for PlayStation with the Persona series initially. And if you take Atlas and you make Atlas exclusive to Xbox, you know how fast that will bring in sales in the Asian markets, whether it's subscription services or consoles or whatever device they may have at the time. That is a huge game changer in those markets and Europe as well. So you can keep your blue furry friend PK, and you don't have to worry about him. He'll have a home. But it's all about the Atlas.
Don't be judging Sonic, right? Sonic went through a lot of bad games and still very popular. You know how hard it is to do for a mascot like that?
Yeah, they literally had a losing streak, an epic losing streak.
I mean, you got a huge Persona IP over there. I see what
Yeah, Persona is bigger than Final Fantasy right now.
so
Persona right now can outsell Final Fantasy. That's crazy to me.
I do want to say this. Shout out to the 137 people watching. As you come in, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
That's right. Thank you so much, Post Up. Yo, with that being said, we said all these good things. There's also some not so maybe indifferent things going on PlayStation. Some restructuring, some drama about how restructuring happened. Because we're told one thing, but then there's other things going on behind the block. And maybe I'm confused. I need someone to clear this up for me. What kind of restructuring, since we talk about Xbox restructuring, what kind of restructuring is happening at PlayStation? Post up. What's going on, man? Because I think you got your ear to the ground and you got everything pumping through the, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, man, we need to talk about this, right? We need to talk about this. They cooked 343 when it came to Bonnie Ross leaving. You have people in media in other communities like PlayStation, whenever an exec or a director or even a contractor leave one of Xbox studios, it's all over the place, right? And here you have one of the biggest profile executives at PlayStation that got not even left on her own accord. She didn't quit. She got fired, right? And it is crickets everywhere, right? Because
Wait a minute. Why did she get fired? What the hell?
We don't know. We don't know. From what David Jaffe said, it was connected to the games as a service direction and connected to I guess Jim Ryan leaving. Whatever that was about. All we know is from what David Jaffe was saying is that either Jim Ryan or her told PlayStation developers that games as a service was the future and they wanted them to start developing those type of games. Those developers, first party developers from PlayStation, they didn't like the direction. They was upset. They gave pushback. He said things really hit the fan and the turmoil came when Bungie, I guess Bungie shelved Factions, Naughty Dog, Last of Us multiplayer game, and that's when everything just hit the fan. And so Jim Ryan, I believe, who had got fired, but they let him leave respectfully by allowing him to say he's retiring. And then now you got Connie Booth, who's been at PlayStation for
So,
30,
so you're
40
saying
years.
he was forced to retire? Is what you're saying?
Yes, I think he was forced to retire. Then you got Connie Booth, who's been at PlayStation since 1989. She's been there 34 years.
Hey,
Every big first party exclusive from Jack and Dexter, from Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, every big first party exclusive, she has had her hands in. So she has helped cultivate, you know what I'm saying, their culture over there in terms of the quality of product that they put out. And you fire her. She's
It
been
sucks.
it's she's been put into the Hall of Fame and everything. Like her credits are crazy. And you fire her over games as that's and ain't nobody talking about it, PK. Everybody quiet. If this was Xbox, you'll see articles all over the place. You'll see articles all over the place with Xbox just off rumors. It's quiet in the
it
streets. I
is
want to
it
know why.
is kind of tough, man. It is kind of tough because when we heard about the quote unquote retirement, it was kind of like out of nowhere, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the case had ended. It was like a month or
Mhm.
two, and then I'm retiring now. What? My guy, why did you even testify? If you was gonna retire, I wouldn't even did nothing. Who cares at this
He did
point?
all that flying around.
I honestly think he was probably called by the people up ahead. They said, "Look, you're going to retire now.
Yeah.
Retire. Okay, yeah, that's the way it's going to go. You're going to tell everybody you're retiring, yeah, or we
Yeah.
tell them the truth. So there's your choice."
I am so
Okay.
confused because they don't speak English, so I don't know how that got through.
He probably
But
had a translator. Probably had a translator, or and there are certain words that that have a meaning no matter what language they're said in, certain tone. He probably heard the tone and went, "Oh, I'm retiring now. Yeah, that's it." Either that or his company visa got declined. That's
hmm,
That's when your badge, you go to work on
yeah,
Monday and your badge doesn't work.
yeah.
Man.
how much money did he rack up from flying from country to
Man.
country, yo,
That's right.
on a private
Those
plane?
those frequent flyer miles, man.
Yeah, he did that on a private plane, bro. Like that's
Oh, did that
crazy.
on private? Holy crap, dude!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sony got private jets. He was
Yeah,
flying
Oh,
around on
that
private
yeah.
jets. Yeah.
yeah,
That would be steep, man. That cost
It,
thousands and thousands of dollars for a deal
thousands,
that did
hundreds
it's
of
hundreds of
crazy when it
thousands.
thousands.
happened. Everybody say, "Oh, he tired. He just been flying around
I
for the last.
mean,
He tired. Let him go rest." Huh?
hey,
Y'all was
look,
just goating the man months ago, saying how he's the goat of blocking the ABK deal. How he got PlayStation numbers up and he got it going in the right direction, and now all of a sudden,
He
oh,
tired.
he
hey,
tired.
hey, we still believe in generations over here.
Hey, he was probably exhausted from carrying all that lobbying money from country to country. He's like, oh, that suitcase is heavy. Oh,
I
Man,
mean, he just got his golden parachute. Relax, okay? That's why
Yeah,
he
I'm
wanted to
sure.
retire.
Yeah, he'll
He
be
got more
just
money.
fine. He'll be
He got
just
more money retiring than he did sticking around. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just I don't know. I just hope he got good insurance so he can get his grill fixed. That's just me. And
He
then
wasted a
maybe
lot of money going out the door too, though. He
hey
spent a lot of money on lawyers and traveling.
hey hey
He's doing what he was
hey.
told.
And not to really delve into it, but I said all along that some of the stuff he did was really making Sony look bad. And I'm sure after all that, and then a deal going through anyway, they were probably like, you know what, we really look really bad at this point, and we need somebody to be the fall guy, and guess who that's gonna be?
Yep.
Well, it was two people. It turned out to be him and Connie.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. It will never be the Japanese dudes. That's all I can say. All right. The fall guys will never be
Nope.
from the eastern country. That's for sure. Hey, listen.
Fall guy.
Yeah, it's real. And I mean, he over there. I don't know what kind of things he doing. I don't even think he's spending money You know what I'm saying? He just took old girl out to dinner. You know, I don't know what happened that night. I just know he put in and he upset about it. And you know, I don't know what that's like, man. But if you got an attitude after taking somebody out to eat for a business dinner and it didn't turn out well, you know, I don't know what to tell you about that one. Clowns, what you know about that?
Going
don't
to
even know.
dinner? You
Yeah,
said,
just so follow me.
I like Red Robin.
Oh, stop.
Okay, cozy. Let me ask this.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you took somebody out for dinner asking for a favor and then, you know, you spent all night with this individual and then the next day you feel kind of upset about disappointed with the you know, results?
What do you mean? You asked for. I don't, try to butter people up with dinner.
Well,
Okay, well,
no, but he
let's
did. He
pretend.
tried to butter up a lot of people with dinner, and
Well, dinner and some heat, right?
dinner and a
Whatever that is.
show and all kinds of whatever else. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even understand, man. That's a little too much for me. It's too strong for me. I don't know how that goes down, but it had to be very expensive because he went straight to where he came from and asked for some help. Anyways, so with that being said, nobody else other than Posta talk about how they feel about this restructure. Do you think this is a little dirty? Cozy.
Getting rid of like people that have been there and been doing things. The restructuring fits with like, oh, we're making change. We got change of plans, y'all, on how we operate.
Isn't that mighty convenient around this time?
I mean,
this is not even the fiscal year.
I know, but there's been a wrench in probably some plans that we don't know about.
What
and so
is
now
that?
they have to think ahead. Oh, it was, the ABK deal. I think that was like a serious wrench.
Oh, they act like it wasn't.
Yeah, of course they're gonna act like it wasn't, but
oh yeah, it was.
That's what you do. You keep on doing your thing.
It's mighty convenient. But I think you own something. I know Paul chimed in. Paul.
No, I mean I've said what I have to say. I think
Right.
I think they are a little shook up over there, and they want to try to. Now they need to quickly adjust. They've never been.
But I thought they were already adjusting. That's the whole reason.
Well, no,
old boy put him on that path. Now they're rejecting it. What's the point of buying Bungie?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because I honestly think that they got caught with their pants down. They weren't. They saw everything that was going on and kept thinking, well, this isn't going to lead anywhere. This isn't going to do anything. They've always been slow to change, and now it's really biting them in the ass.
Yeah.
Klaus?
Sorry, I was just chugging a Mountain Dew. So you're talking about...
I'm firing this guy. I'm tired of him.
You're talking about the restructuring at Sony?
Yes.
I think it's dirty. I think it goes to show that something's going on over at Sony, and they obviously don't have the money to keep all these people. So it's easier to fire them or tell them to retire now because they can't maybe pay out in their retirements later, and then get new people in at a cheaper rate while they continue to charge us $70 for their games, knowing that you can't even refund that stuff on PlayStation without getting your account banned if you try to dispute a charge. So I think it's very dirty. I think it's extremely suspicious. And anybody who is defending the practice the way that Sony's doing it, I think is just completely out of touch with reality on employment. Whereas I know that we've seen layoffs at other companies, but we never seen it the way that Sony's doing it lately, right? Like, it just seems too much at once. Jim Ryan retiring, Connie is gone, her team might just leave or be gone, restructuring this, restructuring that. They're not happy with games as a service plan. the company's upset that Factions was canceled. Like, what? How can you have so much miscommunication with management? There's something broken in that chain of command, right? And I'm going to be honest. I don't even think that it's entirely Jim Ryan's fault. I think that Sony Japan still has a lot of control over PlayStation, even though they're Sony of America. And I just think that they don't understand the structure of what's going on. So anytime they get upset about something, their solution is just to get rid of it. They don't understand why Factions is gone. Well, let's get rid of the people that were a part of that or behind it. We don't like that Jim Ryan couldn't stop the ABK deal, possibly. Let's just get rid of him. You know, like, I just think they're so out of touch with the way things are supposed to be run. Maybe they didn't understand politics. Maybe they didn't understand that just because you fly to every country in the world, you can't stop an ABK deal. You know, you might stall it, but you can't stop it. And I just think it all boils down to all that stuff. This is an opinion, people. So if B-Rap's watching this, it's my opinion. I think this. I feel this. I don't have any facts behind it, right? I don't have any analyst facts or whatever, but it's my thought process from what I see.
Now, part of it to me, though, to kind of throw onto that is, wouldn't that be part of Jim Ryan's job, though, to also go back to the Japanese side and say, here's the deal, here's what I think is going to work? Or did he go back there and say, hey, we got this, I can take care of this, you know?
I have no idea, man.
Yeah, we really don't know. Or was he just doing what they said, and then when it all fell apart, like I said, he was the fall guy. He's the one that's going to take the blame, you know? He was the face of the company. He was, you know, so there you go. Bye-bye. You know? So, I mean, that's how we're not sure what happened back then. We're not sure what's going on now because Sony never is really upfront about what they do or why they do it. So,
which has amazed me why we have so many loyalties out here that want to be loyal to a piece of plastic that doesn't even support their own community. So, with that being said, we did talk about this but you know, let's do some chill stuff, bro. Like legit, Halloween's coming up. Let's talk about some spooky stuff.
I got one more topic to bring up with you guys. I'm curious what you think. So
this is always scary.
Yeah, so I know that I didn't post this out anywhere, but according to Dexerto, Twitch announced that they're no longer going to pay contracts to big streamers. They feel that part of the business is gone and it's not viable anymore because YouTube and Kick are competing for the same contracts. And YouTube responded saying they're also going to stop doing this starting next year. They're no longer going to pay big streamers to be contractually obligated to a service. And that just leaves Kick right now still paying for big streamers to come over to their service. But I think that this is a huge change in the game. And I think at this point in time, these platforms know that they're big enough that they don't have to pay these people to be on their platforms anymore. They don't need to worry about people coming to these platforms because they're already established. And it changes the game for people that want to be big streamers, right? Because now those big streamers that had $1 million contracts are not going to get renewed on those contracts. And now they're going to have to rely on their chat and their businesses again to succeed. And we all know, every one of us know, that you could be hot 1 minute and you could be cold the next. There's no guarantee you're going to stay in your spot 100% at the top of these streaming services. The algorithm could change it. People on the platform that work there could change it. Or your audience may just lose touch with your age or what you're playing. So what do you guys think? Like, how do you guys feel about this? And do you think it's good or bad?
Real quick, let me draw it there. Because even before you said that, I just saw it come across my screen. Ninja has confirmed that with these changes, he will be returning to Twitch, you know, after he clears it with his legal team. And I was wondering what that was all about. You kind of just told me what that's all about. So
yeah,
he seems to think the better deal is back at Twitch.
Well,
who is that?
Come on, Ninja.
Ninja? Oh, okay.
Because his contract's going to be expired, so he can go wherever he wants now. But Post-Up, what do you think about this? Do you think it's going to cause a ruckus in the streaming space for these big streamers?
Hey, look, man, this streaming money is changing people's lives. It's changing people's families. People gonna go where the money at, right? And Twitch and YouTube kind of discontinuing those contractual obligations might set the table for Kick to continue pushing out contracts. So they Kick is giving out a lot of money. I don't know who is behind that company. They have to be billionaires or something, or what investments they
Behind
have.
what?
But 50 million here, 40 million, 100 million here. Like, who is behind Kick? I just think it's gonna set a stage for Kick to try to come in and kind of steal some of the big time streamers, given the extreme amount of money that they're giving out. I think they just signed a couple rap artists to stream and things like that. Like, so it's crazy. We'll see though. We'll see.
So
We'll see. But
I
that's
ha-
how I look at it.
I have
They
an
gonna go with the money.
answer. I have an answer for you. So the guy behind Kick, his name is Steak Eddie. That's his persona online, and he is a billionaire, I believe.
I figured that.
He owns Steak. He owns Steak.com, which is his betting platform, and he had it sponsored by like Drake. He has all this money. Drake, some UFC fighters, title partners, and he came and wanted to start a streaming platform that didn't have all the censorship and regulation like YouTube or Twitch has.
It still has censorship and regulation.
Not the way that you think it does. They get away with a lot of stuff on there. For example, and a very controversial thing was on Kick, one of their streamers had hired somebody off the street to hire a sex worker, and he streamed it, and he got away with it. So Kick's regulations are a lot different than Twitch and YouTube. And this guy, Eddie, went out and bought one of the top streamers on the platform, a Rolls Royce, right? So this is the guy behind Kick. He also allows gambling on Kick. So they get partnerships with the gambling company too.
That's well, there you have it. I knew it. Look, looking at those contracts and the money that they just shoving out like it's a couple dollars. I knew whoever was behind that had to have bread on top of bread, and the contracts that I've seen and heard about is like crazy. So, I mean, they're gonna continue to do whatever they have to push their platform. I do think Kick is really serious about competing with Twitch and YouTube, and we'll see how this go. We'll see how if you see a flux of content creators leave Twitch or YouTube to move over to Kick
I would say that
or the Rumble platform too.
I would say that it changes the game, but it also opens doors for the smaller content creators that are trying to make it big. So that's a good thing. And choosing their winners, I mean, it might still happen, but not to the degree it's at now. Right? So it might be a good thing in the long run. Changes happen, bro. As long as it's not a Netflix opening physical stores like a Blockbuster, we should be good.
Which is really weird. It's really weird. But yeah.
But let's get to the spooky stuff, man. That's what we're here for, because it's Halloween is upon us. I want to start with Cozy, and let's talk about the spooky games first. What is your favorite spooky games? Any that is currently out that you recommend anybody try, and what is coming out that you are looking forward to, or anything of that nature in that realm? It doesn't have to be in that order.
Any horror games?
Yeah, let's get it. What you got?
I don't play
Cozy.
horror games.
Okay, Vampire Survivors is a spooky game.
It's not spooky. It's
It is.
goofy.
It is spooky because it has vampires in it, right?
It has.
Or death or something. It's got the name.
It's got
okay?
death, but there are no vampires in Vampire Survivor.
That's ironic, isn't it?
No, I take that back. I do play a lot of State of Decay.
Oh shit, that's an awesome game. You know that game is so funny because its glitches is actually funny to me. I like them. But go ahead. State of
Yeah,
Decay is awesome.
and I'm kind of in a nightmare situation after that last update. They added crazy plague hearts, and I have this crazy plague heart. I can't drive to it because it steals all my fuel. Like it drains all your fuel. So it's in the middle of like an area that I have nothing set up in, and it operates like a normal plague heart. So you can't take any space by it, and it's just yay, this plague heart, super far away from everything, and I have to trek to the center of it and drop. Oh, and the zombies are extra strong.
Dope. I see Double O Mellow. You recommended Resident Evil. It's a good time for Resident Evil. I agree. Anybody that hasn't playing it. And Emmanuel recommend Redfall. Oh, I give him a hand clap for that.
Redfall time.
Redfall is a good choice for sure. Game Pass is a good choice. But definitely trying out these different games that we haven't played. Listen, I only need one more achievement in Redfall for so whoever gets to the second, please
There you
call
go.
me so I can get that last achievement. That's all I'm saying. So outside of those two, that's all I got, Cozy? Any other spooky games of your favorite all time?
My favorite scary
Yes.
game.
However you
Grounded.
describe it. Okay. You know what? I could give you that because the first time I seen the damn daggone spider boy,
Head down to a termite hill at night because you
Mhm.
need parts, and you're like, it'll be fine. That's fine. It's not fine. It's never fine.
Yeah, that was scary, man. Because they be in there at dark, and then
It's dark. It
your
gets
torch
dark.
runs out, and then you can't
Or
figure
wet.
out where
Or
you
it
go.
gets wet, and you're just
Oh
like,
my
crap.
god!
Mm.
And you're just trying to get the hell up out of there. It's insane. And then you run into a spider. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I could give you that. Granted, it was like that for sure. All right, well, post up.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up with the spooky games, man? What do you think?
No. I don't do that.
No spooky
What is
games?
it with all these
No.
no spooky game people in this
We don't do
podcast?
that. We don't
Where
do
are my
dark
spooky
energy.
people?
Look,
Where
we
are
don't
my
do dark
spooky
energy over
people?
here. We don't do demonic energy. We
He
don't
said
do
he
none
don't
of
do
that.
no
No.
Diablo. Diablo's a spooky game.
You know what? I have never played Diablo. I've never played
Wow.
it, right? When it hits Game Pass, I might give it a go. The only spooky game that I've played was a little bit of Redfall, but I don't know I don't know if it was the frames or it made me real woozy to the point that I
Yes.
had to throw up.
Apparently, there's a setting you can change, but yes, it does.
Hey, I cut that joint off immediately.
Oh,
and
Doom
haven't
is
been back.
another one. That's a good one. Doom.
I
Yeah.
played a little bit
Yeah.
of Doom. I played the mobile Doom and I played the first person Doom. I don't know if it's my age because when I was young, I was able to play all these fast paced games.
You get
But
you
even
get
when I
motion
played
sickness or
Doom,
something.
yeah, when I played Doom, that shit moves so fast. I got emotion.
Yo, I love it, man. I never played Doom before until I played Doom Eternal, and man, I was like, "This is fire."
It moves
All
too
these young
fast.
people. All these young people. Holy, jeez.
All right, we'll get to this elderly gentleman over here who actually, can go and sit here in school
He
us.
embraced the
But
dark side.
you know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's some games out there that we don't think about it like that, but it could be considered spooky. I mean, like Doom, like we just mentioned. Limbo, there you go. There's another one.
And Limbo's a good one.
Little Nightmares. If you haven't played that,
No,
it's an
that game
excellent.
is just straight up scary.
Little Nightmares is an excellent game. Okay, my little girl
Yeah.
beat that game.
I watched
1 and
someone
2
play
by
it, and
herself.
I was like,
You know
"Oh
what?
god."
That makes me feel bad because I can't play that game, and your little girl beat it. So I just
Yeah,
Aw.
1
it's all
and
right.
2.
So,
1 and 2. That's crazy, man. But that's considered spooky. Those are great titles, though. You know, um, But I get it. I ain't saying you gotta embrace the dark energy. You know what I'm saying? Just saying it could be anything. Liza P, right? That's kind of spooky. Um, you guys got an entire Game Pass selection there.
Yep.
Blasphemous. Oh yeah, that game
Yeah.
does look good. I do not own that game. I wanted to play that game. That's that 2D game where you get all these. It's just look like it's one of my jams. That's for sure.
Yep.
One of those. I definitely. So outside of that, I'm gonna let Paul go ahead. Paul, go ahead and chime in.
I got one for you. And if you've never
All right.
played this game, turn off your lights and turn up the sound and play some Alien Isolation. If that game doesn't keep you on your seat's edge all the time you're playing it, then you're doing it wrong. That game
That's not
has,
that's the first person one, right? Is that?
yeah, that's the first person
Okay.
one, and
I
it's
ain't played that one.
scary as all get out.
But
Just because they've got the atmosphere and the music and the sound, just so strap on some headset and
is
just
that on
like
Game
I said.
Pass?
Right now I don't know that it is. I know it was at one point. Um, let me check. I can check for you. Hang on. Give me a minute.
Hmm.
But that game, as far as scary goes, truly scary, truly sit on the edge of your seat. That game gets it all. The atmosphere, the music, the sounds. You think those aliens are coming after you. And
Um,
so,
I'm sure they are because it's their game.
yep. But I mean, they did a great job with that game. That's probably one of the best games that they've done, as far as that goes, to
Who
really
did
suck
that?
you in.
Who did that game? Was it Sega?
I don't know, actually.
I think that's a Sega game, man.
It might be. Oh, let's see.
That's a Sega game. You already know what's up.
Yeah. But they did a great job. One of the early Resident Evils was one of the other ones that I played when I first got it on the old Nintendo 64. Scared the crap out of me.
Mm.
Because I would sit there, turn off all the lights, and turn up at the time I had a wonderful surround sound system. And so yeah, it would really get your attention and
Oh yeah. I see. Now
keep you on the edge of your seat.
No, I was just reading the chat. So I turn off motion blur on every game I play. Okay, that's probably what makes people motion sickness is the motion blur.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing because
I by default I turn that off no matter what game I play. I do not play with motion blur.
It
And that
does
might
not
be
look
is
like Alien Isolation is currently in Game Pass. I know it has been in the past. It was developed by the Creative Assembly, published by Sega Entertainment. So
See?
Sega Europe.
See?
Yep.
Another reason why we need to get Sega in the bag.
And I'll tell you what, that like I said, that's probably one of the best scary games I've ever played. Though I enjoy things like Diablo and stuff, they never really scare me. But this one actually makes you nervous, makes you wondering where it's going to come from. And
I'm not a scary
get those
guy,
jump scares, if you want to get those jump scares, that's the game for.
I'm not about that life either, but I'll try it because
Yeah.
I try anything, but I'm definitely not the dude.
And it's on top of that, it's a very well done game. It is a very, very so I mean that alone, it's got a good story. It's got the mechanics work pretty well. Does need some accessibility, but it's an older game, so I'll give it that. But yeah,
Thought you was gonna mention Superman for Nintendo 64. That's definitely scary. That game, that game ain't. That game is no good.
The only
That
Superman I
game,
remember is from the Atari 2600. Talk about a game that was no good. Little
yeah, I'm
black
not gonna.
graphics.
I'm not even gonna repeat that because half of us ain't even seen what that even didn't even know that existed.
Well, now you do. So there you go.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Oh wow.
Is that
And
all
I
you
know-
got? Is the
That's
alien?
all. And let's see. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. What's coming out that I'm looking forward to? I don't know because I don't know what
Spider-Man
scary
2.
games.
Nobody said Callisto Protocol. Nobody said.
Well, actually, Callisto. Yeah, I do want to check. Well, because I haven't played Callisto Protocol yet, and the other one, Dead Space is supposed to be entering Game Pass. For some reason, it's supposed to be there today, I guess. but I
Is
haven't
it?
seen it on my list yet. The updated version,
Really?
and I want to play it as well. I like the original. That's another one that's somewhat scary, not as scary for me as Alien Isolation, but Dead Space is worthy of a mention. And I'm looking forward to play the upgraded version, hoping I can get past chapter 4. Uh, that stupid asteroid fight caught me for years and years and years, and I've never been able to get past it. So, but hopefully that's one of the things they updated. I heard they had, so I just haven't had a chance to check it out.
Clowns.
Yo.
Scary
Spooky.
games. What do you play, Clownsy?
All right. So for scary games, I will say Dead Space was a good one. The remaster, especially if you play it in low lit settings. I wouldn't consider. Well, for some people this might be scary, but I did like Days Gone. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did like that.
It's a good spooky game.
I like the Man of Medan series. All those games.
Oh, well, not Man of Medan. You're talking about the he was number 1 in the series of the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yes, the Dark Pictures
Yeah,
anthology.
those are some good.
And
Those are some
all
good
of those
stuff.
are good. All of those are extremely good.
They're really well done. I like those.
Played that game, those games too.
Along that same vein, The Quarry is also very good.
Quarry is very good. Yep, I liked it. Man, the rest I don't really play scary games either. I'm like post up. If it falls to a certain let the scary, I avoid it. Like if it's
Yep.
if it's suspense scary or sci-fi scary, I'll play it. But if it's like full on like ghosts and demons and all that stuff that pop out, nope, I ain't playing that. Throw that in the garbage. That goes right in the trash.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not going to do a live Phasmagoria stream and watch you jump out of your seat?
Nope.
Nah,
Is that coming to Game Pass, by the way?
Phasmophobia? I believe so, yeah. But...
Nah, y'all keep all that. Nah.
See, that's too strong.
I don't want that evil in my house. Not today.
Yo, that's funny. What about Devil May Cry? That's a spooky game.
I didn't like Devil May Cry.
Nah, I played a little bit of Devil May Cry.
Yo, Devil May Cry is fire.
I love the action in the
You just go
combat.
punch, and it's like everyone dies.
Yeah, combo, punch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
But
just
yeah,
kill
you know,
demons.
Let me tell you. So, to see the reason for this is I watched a scary movie one day, and it
Which one?
touched my soul,
Which one?
and I was so shaken. I ain't never returned. Let me tell you. I think it was what's the paranormal activity?
Paranormal Activity.
What-
Yeah,
what
that
they
one
got?
freaked out.
That joint shook my
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah,
They
that
had
one
all
freaked a
the,
lot of people out. That one freaked a lot of people.
Yo,
Camera
I'm
moving
telling
and stuff.
you, I felt like this was, I don't know what type of energy this was after I watched that.
Mhm.
I said, you ain't got to tell me but once, God. You ain't got to give me but one signal. And that was done, bro. I ain't been back since. I'm telling you, I ain't been back since.
Wow.
That's
It shook
strong,
my
man.
soul, bro. I'm telling you, I ain't lying too. This is fact. I don't know. And prior to that, I had no problems watching scary movies or dark or demonic movies. But that day watching
What about suspense movies? I mean,
could do
we gonna
suspense.
talk about those
I
too.
could do
So,
suspense.
like, what's good ones that you recommend anybody in the chat to go see?
Suspense.
Please, I can do horror movies, just not games.
Yeah, we're gonna
Well,
get to that. That's what we get into
yeah.
now. The transition.
Well, suspense is different from horror. Suspense is Hitchcock. Horror is
It's all
like,
the same to me.
It's not all the same, though.
I didn't say.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not the connoisseur of this. The point is, if it's, you know what I'm saying, if it's suspense and get your hairs raised, and you know.
I need to look at my Apple TV.
Why post ups looking cozy? Go ahead. What's up? Spooky movies
Oh my goodness.
that you recommend the
All
your
of them.
favorite, and then which ones you
I have
recommend
like
people.
5 million favorite. I
Okay, well,
basically
let's pare it down a little
there's
bit.
not a horror. I can count on probably one hand the horror movies that I've seen and not enjoyed. Of the more recent ones, I think anyone who hasn't seen Talk to Me ought to see Talk to Me.
See, that movie made me mad.
Mhm.
I did not like certain people making certain decisions that they shouldn't be making because I wouldn't make them. But I know it's not me. It just made me mad. Because why would you make that decision? But that's just me. But go ahead.
Yeah, so that's one that I really enjoy. I'm trying to think of newer ones that there's classics. A horror movie that isn't a horror movie, but it's sort of like I watched it as a kid and it was kind of like, wow, this movie's kind of wild. Was Return to Oz.
That
Have you ever
movie's
seen
just
that movie?
weird. That movie's just weird.
It is so weird.
Return to Oz.
And it's just so
stop
poorly
motion
done.
and
It
stuff.
was so poorly done.
The stop
Just
motion
awful.
stuff.
Oh, so awful. So bad. So
I am missing something
The
here.
stop motion stuff in that
Oh.
movie used to freak me out.
that movie was universally panned. Okay, that is not a good take on the
There's-
Oz.
A lot of people in the chat says The Devil's Reject. I don't know what
Oh
that
yeah,
is.
Rob Zombie flick, The Devil's Rejects, one of the good ones. Yeah,
One of the good what?
I'm doing too much.
one of
What
the good
about-
ones from Rob Zombie.
What about
Any-
Rubber?
Any of the ones, any
Rubber.
of the Rob Zombie movies that have Sid Haig in them are good.
Yeah, Rubber.
I don't know where.
Throw
know
that in the garbage.
It's a
What? What?
murderous tire.
Yeah,
A
it's,
murderous tire?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Can we talk about? Can we
It's
talk
right up
about
there-
how?
it's right up there with the Killer Sofa. Okay, it's
Can-
yeah.
Can we talk about how some of this just sounds dumb?
Yeah, some of it was, and I think there's one about a killer set of blue jeans. I forget what it was called. That
a
came out
killer
couple years
set
ago.
of blue jeans.
Absolutely.
And you watched
yeah.
that? What
Dude, I'll
the
watch
heck?
any of it once. But you were talking about suspense movies, and I'm going to throw this out there. Jordan Peele stuff falls under more suspense. Nope, Us, Get Out. Those are all very well. I haven't seen a Jordan Peele bit that I haven't enjoyed. Yeah,
Hey, I like that too.
yeah.
I like those movies too, man. They do. They're not serious. They do mess with you. They're not.
They do
necessarily
mess with you,
scary.
but they're not strictly horror so much as they are about suspense,
Right.
I don't know.
building up that tension, making you wonder what the heck is going on.
Right.
I don't know if I would cut it. I don't know if there's suspense. I've been watching a lot of Apple TV. lately. So you got Suspicion, a TV show called Suspicion on there. You got the M. Night Shyamalan Servant. You
Yeah,
got a show on there called Surface. Then the other one, The Last Thing He Told Me, which I think that's suspense.
Yeah,
I've
it
been
is.
watching
It is,
The
yeah.
Lioness, Special Ops Lioness on Paramount Plus, which is a fire show. That season just finished up. And then you got the joint on Apple TV called H Jack with Idris Elba. So that's probably is as far as I goes, like the joint Slow Horse. I just got to watching Continental on Peacock. I don't get into that eerie, the demon in the body, and I don't know. Oh, but y'all got that. Y'all got all that. Y'all can have all that.
Wait. I didn't hear nobody mention Black Phone, and Black Phone is fire.
no, Black
is
Phone is
Black
awesome.
Phone?
Black Phone is
Yo,
amazing.
post up.
Is that on
You should-
Netflix?
You should eat Black
Post
Phone.
up. Post up. Let me tell you something. I'm not really into the scary movie joints, but I went to the movie theaters to see that, and I bought this movie. If I bought this movie, that movie's fire.
Do you have Amazon?
Yeah, I got Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
It
It's
is.
called Black Phone. Wait.
Yes.
Hold on,
Black
hold on,
Phone,
hold on.
yeah.
Hold on,
It's
hold on. Before I even decide to click this button, don't send me off. PK, I just told
No,
you.
it's a really solid
Nah,
suspense
nah.
kind of movie.
It's a suspense
It's really
movie.
good.
It's
Okay,
based
okay.
off a true event.
Yeah, it's roughly based on a true event, so it might scare
Oh.
you even more.
See, clowns, you can't be doing that.
That's
but-
that's what I tell myself, and then I don't click the button.
Yo,
I'm telling you right now, our friend from this show, Harrison Smith, is doing a movie based on true events called Bone Breaker. Wait
I'ma
till you
have to
see that
watch the
shit.
trailer.
Wait till you see that shit. Because I know what story this is based on. It happened in the 90s, and that's going to freak a lot of people out.
yo, it's legit a fire movie, bro. Like
Yeah.
you would appreciate it to the end, man. You definitely
Yep.
would. It is definitely worth a watch. I ain't gonna hold
What's
you.
up, Dreadpool?
Yep, Black Phone is definitely worth a watch. And Hulu, if you look at the Huluween stuff, they have definitely have a bunch of stuff that's worth to watch. Look for their Into the Dark series. They started with The Body a couple of years ago, just called The Body. It's a fun little movie. I'm also into a lot of comedy horror, like Shaun of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead.
Night
I
of
like
the-
stuff.
You know what? I
Living
just
Dead?
watched Evil Dead 2 and
The new
3
one?
No,
okay,
no.
so you want Army of Darkness. So you
Yeah.
want Army of Darkness.
for the
Army of
first
Darkness
time.
is a hoot. Army of Darkness is an absolute hoot.
That I saw like
you can't take those movies seriously.
No,
Those
no,
movies
you
are
cannot.
retarded. That's
Well, what's
100.
funny is the first one was very, very scary, very straight up dark horror. And then as they went on, it got weirder and weirder and more fun.
And
Army
they had
of
a TV
Darkness.
show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had Ash versus the Evil Dead, which that lasted a few seasons. And which is another thing that's worth to watch. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I could sit here and talk different horror stuff. And me, I've been watching, I've watched everything from 1927 silent stuff to to more recent stuff. So I have a whole lot in my library in my head that I like to watch. I've been doing a 31 days of Halloween on Twitter. Every day I post a different movie that spreads.
Nosferatu?
Nosferatu is actually pretty cool. It was a very well done movie, the first actual vampire movie.
That movie used to give me
Let's see.
nightmares.
I could do certain vampire. See, I think I got a strange way
Blade,
to look
Blade
at it.
is Blade is a good spooky one.
Blade is great.
What's
Blade
up,
is good.
J Rock in the chat?
Yeah,
Hey,
shout out to
J-Rock.
my bro J Rock, man, the troll of the year, exquisite.
Yeah, he needs a trophy for that. We need to go to the
Exquisite.
Game Awards and
He
get
needs
him
an
the
award.
exclusive.
He needs an award.
Legit, you do, man. Legit.
You know, if J Rock went to the Game Awards, I could see him walking up on stage to Jeff Keighley and handing him like a gremlin stuffed animal and just walking off while everybody's clapping.
Facts. But I could
Yo.
do action vampire movies, with that's
So
I'm
you
not
could do
scared of the
Blade
vamp-
or
yeah, I could
or,
do
you know-
Blade or Fire, you know what I'm saying? I could do action vampire movies.
But
But like, when it gets-
what we do
Yo,
in the
what about
shadows.
what's the other vampire movie that's action? What is it called?
well, there's a few. There's like the one John Carpenter's Vampires. There's a lot of action and a lot
Yeah.
of gore.
That's fun.
Good movie. But let's
From
see, then
Dusk
there's
Till Dawn was
Blade.
pretty good. By
From Dusk Till Dawn
From
with
Dusk Till Dawn is
Quentin
a
Tarantino, and yeah, and George Clooney, and that one was awesome. What else is there? Love at First Bite. No, I'm kidding. Though it's a funny movie, but yeah, stay away from the Vampire Brooklyn though. The Eddie Murphy thing that wasn't good.
Movie.
That wasn't good.
I
That
love
was-
that movie.
No, it
Yo,
wasn't
Eddie
good.
Murphy was funny. You might not like it, but
What
Eddie,
Vampire in
No,
Brooklyn?
I like Eddie Murphy. I did not like the movie. Okay, the
talking about-
movie fell short.
Are we talking about Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
That movie was funny, man.
yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, I had one. Let's see if you haven't seen it yet. The Lost Boys is a great movie. Definitely 80s horror. But very, very well done. So if you've never watched The Lost Boys, it's a great movie. Stephen King, Silver Bullet.
What's
which is-
the vampire movie with there's like a kid and he watches his next door neighbor, and he finds out.
Fright Night.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I know nobody's talking about the video game scary
and,
movie that
you know,
comes out
and-
tomorrow. Freddy's,
Five Nights
at
at Freddy's,
Freddy.
which I
Five
couldn't
Nights at
play.
Freddy's.
But let me just throw out there real quick because he mentioned it, and it's a damn shame it took us this long to mention it. We actually interviewed the vampire from Fright Night a few months ago for 4GQ TV. So, and that is in our, if you go back and look at our YouTube, you can find it there where we interviewed Chris Sarandon. It was a great interview.
Yo, Dracula Untold. I own that movie too. That's actually a good flick too, bro.
Yep.
That's a good one too.
You know what vampire movie I really love? The Only Lovers Left Alive.
I don't know what that is.
Nope, never. Haven't watched it yet.
It's like about these like vampires that are just chilling. They're like these artsy vampires, and they're just like
Artsy.
yes.
For that I watch what's it called? The Things We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadow, but
What
it's
We Do in
not.
the
It's not
Shadows,
a
yeah.
comedy. Not like What We Do in the Shadows. So it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like Tilda Swinton. She stars in it, and she's like one of the vampires. And yeah, she's like this. They're just these vampires, and they've influenced a lot of art over the years because they've lived forever, and it's a really
Yep.
Yo, what I really wanted to see was a crossover with what's that one vampire movie with the chick that she was a vampire and she wielded two guns. They was fighting with the werewolves. What was that called?
Oh, you're talking
Underworld?
about
Underworld.
Yeah.
Underworld and Blade crossover would have been fire.
Underworld.
bro.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
I
Yeah.
rock with Underworld.
Yeah, that was
Underworld and
really good.
Blade. Think about that. Underworld and Blade, my guy.
Yep. That would have been awesome.
I even walked with the I think this was on Amazon. I think it was like the recreation or modern day of Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the show, but you know the young guy he turns into a wolf. He started building a pack and stuff like that. But it was more. It wasn't as teamsy as Teen Wolf was back in the day.
Right.
So it had a little grit. So I just forgot the name of it, but it was a good series though.
And then if you want to go a little bit, 30 Days of Night is also an incredibly well done vampire movie about vampires living in Alaska where you get, where the sun sets for, ever. Yeah. So
Paul has an encyclopedia of horror movies in front of him from the 1910s all the way up to now.
No, that encyclopedia is in my head. So when you say certain things, it triggers certain
What about-
memories.
What about The Thing?
I love The Thing. I both the original from 1960, whatever it was, and
the Swamp Thing, that's from the Swamp Thing.
well,
right?
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing is different.
Okay.
The Thing was also John Carpenter did the updated version of The Thing back in the late 80s. And so yeah, that one's very good. But yeah, Swamp Thing is fun. Swamp Thing is different. And they did a few. They had a series for that as well as a few movies. One of them starring Bridget Bardot, who at the time was extremely hot. And so yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, so it was Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
Teen Wolf?
there's a more recent one that's still called Teen Wolf. Yeah.
Good. And then Paramount Plus got one called Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. I'm just waiting on the next season of that. Yeah, but yeah, Teen Wolf had about I think like 6 seasons.
Yeah.
6 seasons. Yeah, it was pretty good.
There's also Werewolf in London, right?
Oh, An American Werewolf in London. Amazing movie.
Yeah.
Fun movie. Came out the same year as that was one of my 31 Days of Halloween. Came out the same year as The Howling. That's why the effects are very much almost the same, because the effects on the guy who did The Howling worked with the guy who did the effects on American Werewolf in London.
Makes sense.
Which was the first time we saw a full body transformation on screen.
This
so if
is
you've
a
never
world
seen
record. Everybody who's watching, this is the longest Paul has talked so consecutively back to back. We passed the world record here.
Well, I mean, you're talking about my thing. This show was my idea. This Theme for Tonight show was my idea.
That's true. No, yeah, you got 100%. But Paul, I'm going to name some movies here, and I want to know what you guys think. Right? Monster Squad. Good movie.
Yeah, fun movie. I mean, kid level movie, but fun.
The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
And
Excellent.
Oh, that's a great movie. Excellent movie. I love that.
I think all the Charlie Brown movies are really boring.
That's okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. They were definitely for a certain time the way that they were paced for sure.
I was like, holy melatonin, Batman.
Well, at least you fell asleep. Also, Disney's Haunted Mansion, the cartoon.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen the cartoon. Now, I've seen. Okay, now the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy, absolute crap. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.
I liked it. It may not have been scary, but I loved it.
But the new Haunted Mansion movie that's on Disney Plus right now, good job, good story,
it's decent.
a lot of fun. Hey, it's got Danny DeVito in it. It's great.
I like the Eddie Murphy version better.
Get out.
Also, Puppet Master. I liked all of them.
Some of them got a little weird, but yeah, the first one especially was very well done. When you start getting into the 80s, 90s horror stuff, you got Puppet Master, you got Warlock, you got Ouija. All of those things have a very 80s feel to them, but they're fun. You know, they're for what they are.
Oh yeah, my friend growing up loved Warlock. He used to put that on repeat nonstop. And I wouldn't really I don't know. Like I wasn't really thinking that was like a horror movie at the time because he used to laugh at that like ridiculously. It maybe was just his weird sense of humor. I didn't sit there to watch the whole thing. I was like busy playing Nintendo while he was watching that. Also, it did scare me as a kid. Ghostbusters 2. Like,
What?
The guy in the painting was creepy.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 2. That's scary for a different reason because it's a bad movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Ghostbusters
Stop
was
it.
fun to watch. We're not finna.
No.
Come
Yeah.
on, childhood right
hang on.
there.
Yeah.
No,
That
wait,
is
no,
childhood.
hang on.
Yes.
Now, the first movie was fun to watch. The first movie's great, but even when they did Ghostbusters, the new one last year, they said it's like the second movie never happened. Even they know the second movie was crap. Okay.
Hey, I love this first
Me
and second,
too.
man. Get out of here.
No.
Look, come on now.
The-
No.
the-
The guy in the
the-
painting was a little
the-
creepy, but he wasn't scary.
Vigo. His name was
Vigo.
Vigo.
Hey, look, that cast is hard to beat.
He was creepy.
But-
Hey, that car,
Yeah.
that's
No,
my child,
I
man.
I realized that, but
Talking about it's
Ghostbusters
a bad
Rebirth.
movie.
When they do Ghostbusters Rebirth, and the actual sequel to Ghostbusters is a video game that we played. You know that, right? The
I
video
do
game
know
is
that.
actually considered the actual sequel to the original story.
I
Wow.
realized that
Yeah.
because that was the last time they had the actual actors on the thing.
Well,
Gotcha.
and they were happy, and Dan Aykroyd was happy with the story. You
Yeah.
know, he. Because a
got
lot
you.
of people may not know that Ghostbusters was Dan Aykroyd's baby. The whole thing was him. Just having
Hey.
fun.
Critters.
That was a good one though. Ghostbusters. Don't
Yeah.
hate on Ghostbusters, bro.
No, not like I said, not Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 2.
I like
is-
Ghostbusters too as well.
Yeah,
Who you
PK
What are you
like
talking about?
You and nobody else, okay?
Critters, Ghoulies.
Well, yeah, because Critters what came first, and Ghoulies was a Critters knockoff, and both of them were a knockoff of guess what?
Gremlins.
Gremlins. Gremlins.
Arachnophobia with all the spiders and stuff.
Yep, all the different spiders. Yeah,
Yeah. Eight-legged freaks.
A-legged freaks with David Arquette is a fun little movie.
Under the stairs. Are we going back?
Oh yeah, people under the
People under the
stairs.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
People Under the Stairs. Did I see that movie? What about Vacancy?
How'd you not see people under the stairs?
No,
What about
well,
Vacancy?
People Under Stairs was just a copycat of The Hills Have Eyes, which was a copycat of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was, so,
Huh?
He
The
does a
stairs
library
had
in his head.
discussed
Yeah,
some
he
very
does.
important
Yeah.
things.
He's got one.
This guy's incredible. He named
Thank you.
cast, directors, writers. Then give you the history of this guy incredible.
I've been watching movies for a long time.
Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, yep, with Felicia Rose, who one of these days I hope to interview. Actually, yeah.
Yes, we ain't named none that you don't know about. Like,
And she was in one of the movies with again Harrison, who we interviewed recently. She was in Camp Dread, which she did, which was like a send off.
So
to all the
didn't we
80s
watch
movies.
like Ernest Scared Stupid the other day?
Yeah.
Ernest Scared Stupid is hilarious. I like all the Ernest movies. I think they're just fun.
the Ernest
as
movies
silly as
was
they are.
classic back in the day. They was just silly.
Yeah.
It was just silly.
He was just
Yep.
so goofy. He brought that goofiness to the screen, you knew it was just gonna be
Ernest P.
funny.
Jim
Yep.
Varney.
Did anybody see the vampire movie with what is it called? Renfield?
Oh yeah,
Yes!
absolutely.
It's
TV
pretty
was
good.
see.
It
Yeah.
wasn't scary, but it was good.
No, but Nick Cage is actually watchable in that movie. So
Yo, I like that one movie he did where he had no speaking parts. And yo, it was, what is it called? When he just pulled up and it was like animatron things was killing everybody. It was
Oh,
like Five Nights at Freddy's, but
yeah, that's I mentioned that the other day. It was what was the name of it? It was on Hulu.
yo, I recommend people watch. That is a funny movie. It's spooky, but it's funny.
Yeah, something. It's somebody's Funhouse. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hang on.
That was a.
Oh, you know what movie's hilarious? Killer Clowns
Yeah.
from Outer Space.
It is,
Ah.
and we're getting a game for Killer Clowns from Outer Space as well.
Yes.
I don't know
we
about
are.
all that. It's too strong for me.
Oh no, Killer Clowns is another fun movie, dude. Killer Clowns isn't that scary at all. It's just
Yo, fun fact:
Fun.
I had a phobia of clowns for a long time. There was a dude walking around in my city, and he was just going up to people's houses, killing them, dressed up as a clown.
Yes, and that happened a few years ago too. Yeah. So Willy's Wonderland was the name of the Nick Cage
There it
movie
is.
from a
Yo,
couple of years ago.
it is
It is
funny.
it's basically like Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's going to be interesting to compare the two.
Oh, you watching all these demonic movies?
Nah, man, it wasn't demonic. It was retarded, man. Like
It was animatronic gone wild, kind of like
Yo.
what they did.
Yeah, he naming all these demonic movies. And he was like, nah, the issue was with clowns, though.
yo,
I know, right?
yo,
Man.
yo. Yo, Black Phone is not demonic, bro, guys. That is
No.
definitely like that is a regular ass movie. I don't even know how to explain it.
But I'll tell you, like, I mean, one of my first favorite horror movies, and still is top of my list, is Frankenstein from 1932. And it's probably you could consider it the first kind of like zombie movie, in a sense, but it's a great movie. It's a good story. Of course, and then there's John Carpenter's Halloween, and if you're a Halloween fan, by the way. Dread Central just posted. They did a podcast and they posted it at midnight yesterday, where they interviewed John Carpenter about Halloween. So if you want to check that out, this is the 45th anniversary of the movie Halloween, which is actually one of my first favorite slashers. It's still one of my favorite slashers that I watch every year. So that's out there if you want to check that out. We interviewed the producer of Dread Central, Bloody Disgusting the other day. Again, that's another thing you can check on our YouTube channel. So sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there.
See,
Well,
I don't even.
since today is Paul's show.
I didn't even. She posted up. I didn't even know we interviewed all these people, and I've been on the interviews.
I know.
Yo, what? You in the?
Yeah.
Because I set up the interviews and I said, Carlo, we got an interview, and he's like, okay.
Listen,
And you don't know who you interview. You just ask a question.
Yeah,
Listen.
I don't know anything about horror, dude.
Yo, he just said that. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yep.
my question is.
So what I do with that is I leave the generic questions to Carlo, and then I get to the point questions.
Oh yeah,
so-
Paul will be on these interviews post up with these horror guys, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, and your friend Damien Leone, oh yeah, he did a great job on that prop." And then the guy we're interviewing is like, "Yeah, Damien's good with that stuff," and I'm like, "Huh? Who's Damien? What prop are they? Where? What?"
Terrifier 2.
See,
Everybody who knows me knows that one of my favorite modern day current horror series is the Terrifier series, which is actually, if you want to know all the stuff Art the Clown's been in that you get your hands on, it's All Hallows Eve, Terrifier 2, and the trailer for Terrifier 3 will be dropping in theaters on November 1st, with Terrifier 2 returning to theaters. So there you go.
that's a lot.
That's strong, man.
Yeah.
Well, and,
So-
well,
so what is the-
I've met Damien Leone, and I've met the person who plays Art the Clown. So there you go.
So stuff like Saw is just gruesome, not really scary to me. So
I can't wait to see Saw X though. I love those kind
It's
of
the
movies.
first 3,
You know,
and then
I'm
I thought it
good,
fell off.
but the one that I really like was the one with Chris Rock and Samuel
Oh yeah.
Jackson. I feel like if Samuel Jackson is in any movie,
hmm
it
Yeah,
just
I don't.
automatically becomes good.
I've only liked the first 3.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But
I like the creative death stuff. Like I love
what was it called though? Anybody?
Which
Spiral.
one?
Spiral.
Spiral.
Yeah,
Spiral was
I didn't like
uh,
that one.
Spiral is what they call in the world of Saw. In other words, it's basically like a copycat at that time. Saw X draws you back into the actual storyline. And so yeah, and then but I
What's
like
this
the
next
kind of
one
movies.
about?
It's like actual Saw.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. I thought he was dying of cancer or something.
That was the whole draw behind the whole original thing. And then it kind of, but as you watch all the movies, they start to tell this longer storyline, which really works out if you watch them close enough together where you can actually follow along with what's going on. But yeah, and at some point, he passes it on, and other people, he's too weak to do it, so he brings in these other people to set up the traps for him and things like that. And to me, it's interesting because he's not doing in his mind, he's not doing it to torture these people. He's doing it to teach
Give
them
them a
something.
second chance and stuff.
Yeah, to give them a second chance. And hey, if you survived this, hopefully you've learned your lesson, type of thing. You've spent your life ripping people off. Well, now we're gonna rip parts of you off, type of thing. It's
Now you have to choose between your
Yeah.
leg or your arm.
yeah, that kind of thing.
You know what
Uh,
movie is scary?
That's strong.
Yeah,
You know what movie's scary that's not even in the horror genre? Is
What's that?
Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman.
yeah, yeah.
Fire.
Oh, that movie.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yep.
Fire.
it was.
does the
yeah.
does the
Outbreak
Jurassic Parks
fire.
count too?
They are. They actually do fall under horror.
Now I watched Jurassic Park.
But they're
want
they're
those
they're action adventure, but they do also get categorized as horror as well. But
What?
back on, yeah, they do.
They what?
Dude,
yeah,
you get a dinosaur rips a lawyer in half. I know that's okay, but it still falls under horror. When they go, I think I found the lawyer. Yeah, me too. And they're 20 feet apart.
that T-Rex break through that fence and get the
Yeah.
truck. Yeah, and they stuck in the car. Yeah, the little truck right there, and dude
Yep.
go run to the bathroom and
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
And Dennis Nedry, you know what happened to Dennis Nedry? He did not survive that little chap.
at all.
what about the movie Alligator? Was that like 1978, 79?
Depends which one. I mean,
The first
I
one?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Where the alligator goes in the pool and the kid has a birthday party and he starts eating people.
Yep. Yeah.
That scared me
Speaking-
as a kid.
Speaking
Yay!
of alligators, of course, one of the best quote scary movies that had Betty White in it, Lake Placid. And if you've never seen Lake Placid, we'll watch it just for Betty White. Okay.
That's a great movie.
What does the Megs fall into? Anything?
Oh yeah, the Megs are definitely yeah.
Oh,
Even
what
though I
about-
think it's just a bunch of nonsense, like
It is,
impossible
but-
things that's
yeah.
happening. But hey, don't judge me. I did get both of those movies because it's just, to me, it's just funny.
But we were talking about Saw and the different traps and the ways people die. I
Yeah.
find it interesting, just like the Final Destination series.
Why we talk about that? Don't anybody in the chat tell me if that movie didn't make you paranoid about driving behind trucks.
So there was one on 75. There was one going on 75, and nobody was behind it. Nobody was behind it.
Final Destination. You ain't wanna go to
And
no
nobody
carnival?
was behind it. It had like it was actually the first time it was like I've seen a truck that carrying they were carrying the large cylinders. It wasn't logs, it was like large cylinders. But they were like heavy looking large
Final
cylinders.
Destination.
Yeah, and no one was behind it, and it was just hilarious.
You
Yeah.
ain't want to go to no carnivals. You ain't want to go to Great America. You ain't want to drive.
You didn't want
I
to
think-
sleep underneath the fan.
Yeah.
I
you
think for me personally, 2 was especially kind of because the deaths were like out of there, but not so out of there that you would have been like, yeah, that's never going to happen. Like, I'm afraid to, like, spill food and slip on it.
What about slasher flicks?
I already told you my favorite.
Yeah.
Halloween is where that comes in right there. The first,
Jason,
the
Freddy.
first actual slasher flick. Yeah.
See,
Jason was a copycat of Michael. And they admit that they wanted to do Halloween, but at a in a different way, and that's where Jason came from. And remember, it wasn't Jason. The first one was his mother. Jason didn't come into it until the second movie.
Post-ups, like, I'm writing all these down so I can avoid them.
No.
What about the last few Halloween movies?
Some of these movies,
How anybody feel about those?
Is pre my scare.
Yeah.
So Jason
You didn't-
and Freddy, I did all that.
You didn't like the last few Halloween movies?
No. I think for me personally, a horror movie can be bad and still be something that I enjoy. But there's like a certain point where I'm like, yeah, this is not even terrible and fun. Like the one with like Busta Rhymes was like the last one that I legit enjoyed.
Halloween Resurrection. That's basically they tried to turn Halloween into Scream. Okay, that's what that was.
It was so bad though. It was hilarious.
It was
believe you
awful.
guys.
It was awful.
I can't
Leprechaun.
believe you guys.
Yeah, Leprechaun understood. Leprechauns are all
Which
bad.
one? Leprechaun or Leprechaun in the Hood?
Oh, yes,
I love
yes.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Leprechaun in the
I
Hood.
love
Back
it.
to the hood.
Hey, you know what used to be really the this one I wasn't afraid to watch this stuff.
Leprechaun in the Hood. I don't even think I seen. Did I see that movie?
Oh, dude, it's hilarious.
And Leprechaun in the Hood is funny.
He gets this gangster down.
Hey.
The gangster's got a gold tooth. The one
I
thing you
know
don't want to
y'all-
be showing no leprechaun is a gold tooth.
I know
'Cause
y'all used to watch Tales from the Crypt.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
Tales from the
Guess
Crypt.
who didn't like Demon Knight?
Oh,
That would be Carlo, because Carlo doesn't have any taste. Disgusting. No, didn't like Demon Knight. Sad.
what is Damon Knight?
Tales
It's
from
the
the Crypt.
first
Demon Knight's
Tales
one
of
of
the
the
Tales in the Crypt movies.
Yep.
First
They
time they had a movie.
Ooh, I don't
They
know
did.
what
Yeah,
that is.
Jada
They did
Pickett
Demon
Smith.
Knight. They did Demon Knight. And they did Bordello of Blood. Outside of the series, they did movies.
Oh, I like Bordello of Blood.
I'm trying to.
That
see
was
if
the
I've
weaker
seen
one.
those.
That was the
Yeah.
weaker of the two.
I don't know if I've seen the movies.
Demon Knight is available on some services. I'm not sure which
Yeah,
one. I just watched it the other
I got
day.
it. Yeah, I own it. It's pretty dope.
And
didn't-
let's see. But speaking of those kind of series, they did the new season of crap. Hang on a second. I got to remember the name of the show because it's probably their best season yet. And Wilmy and I were talking about it the other day. And it's on Shudder. It's hang on. Shudder is a great place for Creep Show. The latest version of Creep Show is so well done. There's 6 episodes in it on Shudder TV. So check that out if you get a chance. If you like those kind of Tales from the Crypt type of things, which
Mhm.
a series they had talked about bringing back, and I wish they would because we need the Crypt Keeper in our lives. The Crypt Keeper was a lot of fun. Him and his bad
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah. You're a crypt keeper.
I'm old enough to be. Yeah.
Yeah, you messy. So wait a minute.
Oh, I got a question for you. You may know this one. This scared me as a kid. Right? A bunch of old folks at a retirement home, and then they go on this outing into a lake, and they all become rejuvenated, and it's like an alien thing.
Cocoon.
Yes, that scared me.
Oh, Cocoon is classic.
That's scary.
Yes, I was scared of
You were
Cocoon.
scared of Cocoon?
Yes.
What?
Why you sound like you proud of that? What the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
That was
I
Wilford
thought you
Brimley.
would've
That was
said
Wilford
something.
Brimley before he started talking to people about his diabetes. Yeah.
I thought you would have said something like Pet Cemetery.
Oh, that was
Where the
scary
cat-
too.
where them cats was, boy,
I
them
just
cats
watched that
was
one the other
big-
day.
Boy, them
Pet
cats.
Cemetery. By the way, avoid the new Pet Cemetery at all costs if you like.
It's a
the
new
old
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. It's awful. They definitely lost a thread on that one. They lost it.
I know them old school joints, man, had me. Hey, yo, checking the family cat. You had the little cat in the house, boy. I'd watching. You get to looking at the cat like, kind of like, what you trying to do?
Wasn't there a horror movie called Mannequin?
Mannequin.
Yeah,
Well, I don't.
It
think
wasn't a horror. It wasn't a horror movie. It
it
was
wasn't
a
a horror
comedy.
movie. It was a comedy.
It
Yep.
was
And
and
the mannequin came to
life.
life. It
Yeah.
had the black guy in it with the little glasses, and he had the little long red car and
The
stuff
scary
like that.
movie count? Scary movie count?
No.
Well, it's a fun movie. I wouldn't call it scary. I would just the ones that the Wayans brothers did are good. After the Wayans brothers were out, it wasn't so good. So
Oh, what's that movie that had the VHS cover of like a demon on a rotary phone?
now when you're talking about covers, it's a little bit harder.
No, because my
You talking about Black Phone? That's what
no
we
no
just
no.
got
This
through
is
talking about.
this is the early '80s. If you picked up the phone or something in the movie, like you would be under the. Oh man, what was it about? My friend used
What
to
is
watch
that?
it all the time.
Is that what? Are you talking about one of those? You pick up the phone and you have 3 days to live or whatever. Is
3
that-
days to live?
that's kind of like what they
Yeah,
did.
I
That's
know-
kinda like
I
what
know
they
what
did
he's
with
talking
that's kind
about.
of like what they did with The Ring too. The idea that
Isn't
Yeah,
that
if you
like
answer the
how many
phone, yeah.
movies? How many movies made you afraid of just regular stuff like The Ring? Like watching TV, you see
Nah.
something weird like that.
the only horror movie I ever had a nightmare about, and I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, was Frankenstein. That's how young I was when I started watching horror movies. But after that, it was easy.
Yeah.
There's only 2 movies that have ever made me kind of like my stomach clench, almost make me want to. Well, one was Hostel. If you ever watched Hostel, is
Yeah.
awesome now, but the first time I
Mm.
watched it, the burned lady with the eyeball hanging out thing was just that was a lot.
The
That
bird
was-
lady with the eyeball thing.
Yeah, sure. Well, they were torching her, and so her eyeball. They'd been burning her with a torch, and her eyeball was hanging from her head, so they had to cut off the eyeball. So yeah, it was nasty. And the other one was Day of the
Gross.
Dead. I actually saw Day of the Dead in school. Yeah, the things we watched in junior in when I was a junior in school. Had one of them teachers. But George A. Romero did some incredible work. I gotta say that.
Like some of these movies, I gotta go back and revisit.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of these joints is childhood.
I
Yeah.
think
Like I ain't heard some of the ones y'all bringing up. I ain't heard years.
Yep.
But it was back at a time where I think the creativity in the movie industry versus now, it was better back then.
Well, a lot of it is because now, like everything's been done. Back then,
Yeah.
things like Psycho is considered a horror movie. And Psycho
Yeah.
in its day was an incredibly well done movie. And it still is. It still holds up. I mean, you watch Anthony Perkins do his thing, and you're like, oh man, this guy is freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
and now today you're getting a lot of recreation of yesteryear. Like,
Right.
but man, you just listening, you just go back and just even from whether it's slasher or horror and stuff like that. And even outside of that scope, a lot of the creativity that was going on back then, you
Yeah.
kind of started to miss that,
the practical effects.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that Terrifier and Terrifier 2 have done so well. They've gone back to practical effects. He tells a simple story, and he actually does have a story behind it all. It's not just slasher for slasher's sake, but he does get rather creative with the how we're going to kill somebody thing. But wow, and then he's the one who actually, that like we talked about, and he talked about at the con I was at, he actually creates. He's not only is he the writer, director, producer, or whatever, he's also the guy who created a lot of the practical effects you see. He created the
Ooh.
animatronics that he uses and does stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Christine, Children of the Corn.
Oh, you want to start talking about the Stephen King stuff? We're gonna go
The
okay.
corn.
Children of the Corn. The
Children-
first one
What
was,
about
yeah.
Jeepers Creepers?
That was scary
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Children of the Corn.
I love Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is a great movie.
Jeepers Creepers.
Children of the Corn, though.
Yeah.
Them joints right there.
Yep. The first one. Hey, and with Stephen King, it's hit or miss. You know,
There
he
was
had,
not enough corn eating in it.
Of course, you're not going to eat that corn. That corn was evil.
I'm gonna eat demon possessed corn. I will. I'll be
Oh,
fine.
no.
I am, you guys. I am. For science.
What is that?
You know, and he had Carrie, which was Stitchy Spacek, and Piper Laurie, who passed away just last week, as a matter of fact, who played the crazy mother. Was a great movie. The original, not the remake they did in the 90s or whatever it was. That was crap. Cujo is okay if you like a movie about a rabid dog. As far as miniseries go, check out Storm of the Century on Hulu, I believe. Great little miniseries. If you've never watched it, Stephen King even likes it. It's one of the best things they ever did with his work. Even he says that. Misery falls under that because Misery is more of a suspense thing. You were talking about suspense and things like that. Misery is by Stephen King, but it is very suspenseful. And
One of the most suspenseful
Kathy
movies.
Bates Kathy Bates is a very disturbing character in that movie.
I think Misery is so good because Misery is up there with for me Don't Breathe as far as movies where I'm just clenched and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Misery?
I don't
just
think Don't
upsetting.
Breathe is on the same level. Misery is a whole different.
No, they're different. No, just movies that make me specifically movies that are very make me very tense.
Don't Breathe made me want to punch somebody.
The Shining was a little creepy.
I think The Shining's just really long and boring.
Well, the problem with The Shining is it's nothing like the book. I mean, even Stephen King was not happy with that, and I can see why. I think they tried to redo it and they didn't do it well. But I think that's one that deserves a proper
reboot.
What is the name of the one where they had the What they had the look. Hold on, my lady. Just hold on. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
You in trouble. Looks like we about to start wrapping up here. Mm-hmm. Ready to finish your stuff, clowns?
Yeah, you could take us out, PK. My wife is
how abrupt.
I am waiting on post up to come back. While we waiting, I just didn't see if anybody else had anything to add.
I mean, you know me, I could rattle on about this stuff all night, but
Cozy, are you gonna watch Finance of 30?
Not at premiere.
It's on Peacock.
Are you gonna watch it on Peacock or are you gonna go to the movies?
I would go to the movies. If a movie is premiering on what you call it, I am 100% less likely to tune into it until I remember. I remember to go see movies at the theater, but not at home. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah.
I'll be checking it out tomorrow. And then for those who've been watching it, new episode of Chucky dropped on streaming tonight. I love Chucky. The series is actually really well done. For those of who play Child's Play is what that's based on. For those of you who've been sleeping under a rock.
Child's Play.
It is actually pretty good.
It is. They've done a great job with it. Plus, and because it's on cable, they've been holding no bars in some of the killings. Wow. You go, wow, that's bloody. And what's cool is I love the fact that they got Jennifer Tilly to come back and do her part, as well as the original Chucky, as well as the original kid from the first movie, who's always been in all the sequels. So basically, the movies, he's grown up with the movies, which is cool that they've always had the same actor in that role. So, So basically, him and the guy who plays Chucky, whose name is Charles Lee Ray, whose name the actor's name is escaping me this second, but he also voices Chucky in this show and also does the flashbacks as well. So
That's dope.
so yep. I think we've lost post up. Post up.
You might be in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just start wrapping up. Thank you for everybody coming out. We had a good little pre-Halloween show. I think we had a great time talking about all the cool things, spooky wise, games and movies. Apparently, movies we can go on forever. Hopefully, you guys got some more suggestions in the chat. We appreciate that, and thank you for coming out for sure. We're not a show without you. We didn't pay any bills today. I'm gonna let clowns do that before we go out. What I would say is let's go to I'm gonna pay respect to the oldest in the room because we need to make sure that he gets his off before anybody else. Go ahead, Mr. Paul.
Well, you act
everybody.
like it's time for me to go to bed or something. Not yet. No. Hey, you can
saying
follow me on Twitter, the app X app thing, whatever the hell you call it. Cerebral Paul 1. You can follow me on Twitch at Cerebral Paul. You can follow me on the Xbox Ambassador channel the same way. And on Tuesdays I have a show over there. On Mondays, when he's available, and on Wednesdays and Thursdays when I'm available, I'm on this channel right here for GQ TV for the pop-up Powerbomb Wrestling on Monday. The backdoor backlog bastards, sorry, on Wednesdays, and then of course right here for this show on Thursdays, and then on the Wasted with Wise on Fridays, and Retro Renegades maybe if they let me come back in the chat. I don't so
Paul's been he been naughty.
well I had to take a break last week. Let's say the last few weeks have been tough on me, and I just before I said things I couldn't take back, I decided to back away. So
I got you.
Yep. Anyway, so yeah, join me on all those things, and if you're always, like I said, the best thing to do is follow me on Twitter because then I let you know when I'm going live on my own channels as well as anything else that I'm doing. Hopefully, I got something special coming up with somebody else in the community that we're supposed to do another horror focus thing because he and I both love the movies and the games and stuff. So, and he and I are about the same age, and we can talk about this stuff all night long. So, and I'm just having fun talking about it and sharing my knowledge and having fun. So,
All
see y'all
right.
later.
All right, cool. Cozy,
Yes.
tell people what's up.
Okay, what's up? So I will be back here on Thursdays, if not every Thursday, every other Thursday. It just depends on what time I get home on the other Thursday that I'm working. Let's see, I have Majestic Mayhem on Sundays at 9 p.m. and then I do bull sitting over with Ham Solo and Loke on TSWS. And that's on Fridays. I also have a much neglected Twitch that I'm supposed to be using again, and my TikTok, where I will eventually be showing you guys what you do if you have been given 100 pounds of sugar.
Nice. Did we lose PK?
No, I'm here. I was
That's
waiting
it.
for her.
That's all I got.
I was waiting for her to get done. Hey, I appreciate Cozy coming back. And listen, post up. When he come back, hopefully he comes back and hang out with us if he doesn't get in trouble. But I appreciate everything. Hey, clowns, could you pay the bills before we go out, and then I'll go ahead and do my sign up.
Yeah. So you can check out ExpressVPN expressvpn.com/4GQTV. You know, the latest deals on your ExpressVPN service. And you can go to Manscaped, get 20% off Manscaped with free shipping with promo code 4GQTV. Yeah, we're a Team Manscaped and partner. So check that out.
Why can't we get a pizza sponsor or something? Jeez.
Well, I get you a pineapples pizza sponsor.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No,
Oh, no,
you're
you
good.
Sponsor.
Yeah, she's just getting off work and coming.
Hey, you good, brother? We was just doing our sign-outs. You want to finish your thought before we head out? You can.
Do you remember what you were talking about before?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What was I talking about? I don't even know. I'm just
That's
gonna roll
funny.
with whatever we doing. I forgot. She came in and distracted me.
Yeah, we was just doing our sign-outs, brother. Clowns was paying bills. Clowns, was you done? No, you weren't done.
No. No, I was finished. You can go let Post Up do his outro.
All right. Post up.
Yes, sir.
Please
Yes,
tell
sir.
people the next time they can see you.
Oh, yes, sir. We got State of Gaming every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on YouTube at State of Gaming or Post Up. You can also find me on Twitter at postup_SOG. Please come by the channel, support the channel, follow me on Twitter. And thank you, PK, and the whole panel for having me, man. And the historian, you got a movie historian and TV. This dude is incredible, bro. How you retain all that information? That is incredible.
Yeah,
But thanks for having me.
I got a big
Thanks.
head.
For sure, man. Hey, thank you for everybody coming out. I'm gonna let Clowns finish paying bills, and we gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do my sign out and we get out of here.
You can catch me on 4GQ TV every Thursday. We got a show, Majestic Mayhem, with the ladies on Sundays nights. We have a very special guest planned to come up. Hopefully, I know for this weekend, I think Majestic Mayhem's taking a break. Death Dealer just had her birthday, doing some Halloween stuff.
Woo!
And but we have a very special guest. Her name starts with Andrea. She has confirmed that she would be on, so we just got to get that worked out. And we got a big thing coming up with MegaCon, organizing a panel of superstars with trying to get Derek Robertson from The Boys there. Been talking to him, hip hop gamer, Karen Mahorn, and waiting for a few emails back. Hopefully Jimmy Palmiani and Amanda Connor. So stay tuned for that. Paul's working on some more interviews with CEOs of AI companies that want to hop on. We have a guy coming back, Gary Revel. He was hired by the House Committee during the time to investigate the MLK Jr. Assassination and the JFK assassination. So he actually worked for the government, and he wants to come on and talk about what he's allowed to talk about. So that's all happening. Stay
Also,
tuned
real
to
quick
4GQ
too.
TV.
Also, next Wednesday, Colin may have forgot, we are actually interviewing the original voice actor for Laura Croft. So
What?
that one will be recorded, and we will be dropping that soon after. So in the next week or so, that will be dropping. Yeah, I've been busy over here, setting stuff up. So
Noise. That is I have to tune in.
yeah,
Shit. Pull up. That's what I'm talking
that's right.
Yes, sir.
about.
And PK, the most electrifying man in all
Don't
entertainment.
don't. There you go. Okay.
You didn't mess it up this time. Yo, definitely catch me every Thursday for GQ TV and on the Dragon's Den when the Dragon's not asleep. And definitely we got some interviews coming out. We got some more that we're reaching out to. Hopefully we got a lot of content to bring to you guys because we like to keep you entertained. Thanks again for everybody coming out. You guys are great. I'd love to have you. See you next time.
Cue the creepy music ball. Do 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 do.